He's a peculiar man. I might even say he has principles that transcend money or drugs or anything like that. Not like you.
But not like you. This is Dana White, a very special man, and how he would rank fighters in the light heavyweight division. We went through from flyweight up to now light heavyweight, and we'll continue going on, but we are fresh off the heels of UFC 320, where Alex Pereira just defeated Magomed Ankalaev via KO in round 1. Real swift, real quick. It was great. It was a great fight. UFC ranking website is not even updated yet, and we still have these older portraits with him having the belt on his shoulder there. But that ain't how that works. So I've been watching the UFC now for over 12 years. I've seen so many press conferences. I've seen so many Dana White interviews. I've seen so many of his other things, like his Friday thing where he would eat a bunch of freaking junk food and get fatter. Like, bro, that's not healthy. I don't know if he's still doing it, but like every Friday, dog, you know, like treat yourself, brother, but not every Friday. And I mean, I think people do things every weekend to treat themselves, but it's like, bro, not in that way, man. Treat yourself to a run. Go out and run or something, dog. Don't freaking eat a bunch of, like, a donut with a hamburger on the inside. Like, my mouth is watering. But I digress. Just because I like that stuff and I would eat it doesn't mean I'm going to, you know? Anyway, let's get into the rankings. So I have been watching the UFC for such a long time. I know how people's minds work. It's easy to read people for me, and maybe not everybody's going to believe me when I say that, but you'll know if you know me well enough that I can read anybody. It's easy. It's easy, dog. I can read you. You're not faking nothing in front of me, man. You can do it in the comments. You can do it in person. It doesn't matter. I can read you, man. Just like I can read the man across the screen. And I know exactly how he would rank these fighters based on his psychology, because it's not about the rankings in terms of who's the best fighter. He doesn't give a shit about who's the best fighter. He gives a shit about who can do the most for Dana White and who can do the most for his legacy and the UFC and, you know, the things surrounding him in general. So if you want to be one of the things surrounding him that's highly successful, he will rank you higher up if you're a good company boy or a good company man. You know, he will do that. That's how it works. That's how most people's minds work, technically. But Dana White, because of the privilege that he has and the position that he's in, he's a little bit hyperbolic in that sense. He's a little bit of an exaggeration of the typical man. His personality is very much like that, man. Everybody knows. I don't have to explain much further as we get into the rankings, starting with Alex Pereira. S tier. He just knocked out Magomed. He's always a fun fight. He's always been a fun fighter, and he's always had that good upward trajectory within the company until his last loss against Magomed. But then now his trajectory is back up there right after one win again, and understandably as well. So Dana White, because like Alex is such a prominent figure in the MMA space, right? It's not just about Brazil either, because when it comes to his fan base, it's like worldwide. He has so many fans everywhere. He draws so many eyes. Even if they're not fans, they'll watch him fight. And that's good for the company, right? The views from different regions in the world are not all the same, but if you got views from the whole freaking globe, the entire thing, you're winning, man. You're winning in Dana White's eyes. You're S tier for Dana White and probably everybody else, honestly. As we move up to, or down, down. I saw the thing on his shoulder right there, that belt. I said up? Nah. As we move down to Magomed Ankalaev. He's, you know, he's never been the most exciting fighter, but he's been decent. He's gotten some pretty fun finishes as well. And I think most people just don't like him too much because his personality is really dry and bland. And he's like a shell of a man in that kind of sense. Like there's no personality there for some reason. But his fight style is also boring a lot of the time, but it's not all the time boring. So, you know, I think Dana, just because of how he fights, kind of the region of the world he's from, And like, he doesn't have like massive amounts of fans, I don't think. But it's not always going to be about that, right? That's not how human brains always work. We always make exceptions. Dana White would absolutely make exception to this. And he's kind of proved himself in certain ways to be up here to A tier for Dana White. As we move on down to Jiri Prochazka, who just got an amazing KO victory over Khalil Roundtree Jr. I called it exactly how it would happen, and it most certainly did. So he's S tier, below Alex, because he's lost to Alex twice, and it's not like he's impervious to defeat. I mean, Alex isn't either, but less so than Jiri is, or has been shown at least throughout the last couple of years or so. And Jiri is such a fun fighter with that Bushido spirit. Hai, arigato gozaimasu. He's just like, I mean, Dana probably doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about that crap. He don't give a shit. But what he does like, he likes Mexicans for a reason. He likes the toughness, the grittiness, the gung-ho-ness, the forward pressure of Mexicans. And if you resemble a Mexican, Dana White's gonna love you, man. He's gonna love you. I mean, like, Jiri doesn't resemble one physically, obviously. Don't be dumb. His fight style in terms of do or die is like beyond Mexican even. It's the Bushido spirit. He's a samurai and he's not faking it. It's his autism getting to him, you know? It's like sometimes you just cling on to something so tightly. It's part of your freaking core philosophy. It's part of your core livelihood. Whether you agree with it or not, Jiri has Bushido spirit, and that's the man. And Dana White loves when fighters go forward. The fight with Khalil, amazing. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it, because he was getting beat up, Jiri, for 2 rounds. Basically, he was doing okay. I said he was doing okay too, and I knew he was gonna do way better in the 3rd, because that's the freaking last round. He's a samurai. What you think he's gonna do? Just keep getting beat up the same way? No, he's gonna switch it up on you, bro. And Dana White loves stuff like that. He loves when fighters are able to adapt and win. You know, he loves winners, that's for sure. As we move on to a winner right here, Carlos Ulberg, right? That's his name. I got streamer brain activated. It's when you start OBS and it's like, man, you can only access certain parts of your brain at the moment. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Carlos Ulberg. And he's S tier simply because of where he's from, the eyes he can bring. I don't think he's like super famous or anything, but his upward trajectory is there, like he's going up, and his ceiling is very high. So this is the kind of guy that Dana White does like. That's why he's in S tier, and he's probably going to stay there for quite a bit until he starts losing. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, yeah. Didn't even have to say that, really. As we move on to Khalil Roundtree Jr., he is above even Ankalaev. I'm not sure if I would put him above Ankalaev necessarily, in terms of like how, like if I would be the one doing these rankings. Dana White's doing these rankings right now, but I think it's because Khalil's fight styles matter. They matter to the fans, they matter to Dana White. And Magomed's is not fun. It's not always fun. So it's as simple as that. Like the fight with Jiri, especially if you're taking into account last night's fights, immediately, like, that's it right there. Like, of course, it's hard to disagree with that. And recency bias is a thing for Dana, just as it is for anybody else. As we move on to Jan Blachowicz, the Polish Power. Yeah, Polish Power. I think Jan is pretty much up here as well. He's probably shoulder to shoulder with Ankh for Dana White. A little bit lower because he's a little bit on the losing side. Although, man, I don't know. I'm considering... No, I think Dana would keep him up here. Yeah. I was thinking maybe he would drop him down here because, like, Jan has been kind of... not been super impressive, but he's been keeping up with a lot of these guys. But keeping up isn't really the idea for Dana White. It's about domination, like Hamzat or something, right? And Jan ain't dominating nobody, really. Except maybe Jamahal Hill. Jamahal Hill. Does he have a freaking nickname? Fight nickname? I don't know. But it should be Jamahal ex-UFC fighter Hill. Because he freaking sucks. I don't know how he ever freaking won the title. Makes no sense. He also got submitted by Paul Craig. I mean, even Ankalaev lost to Paul Craig, I think. But it's the same thing, I guess. but dang, dog. Like, everything else about him sucks, right? Like, he sucks at fighting. He's freaking fat for a light heavyweight, which is interesting. It's like he's got this distended belly. I don't understand. Like, are you starving? Or did you eat too much? Which one is it? Because it happens either way. As we move on to Reyes. Oh, Reyes is B. He's got to be above Jamahal Hill for Dana White for sure, just because of the performances he puts on. They're always more exciting than Jamahal Hill's. And I'm not saying that Jamahal Hill's performances, well, his performances are not exciting. His fight style sucks, but his fights are sometimes exciting. Like, of course, it takes two to tango. Depending on the other guy, it can be exciting for sure, especially when he's getting knocked out. Then we move on to... Shit, what's this guy's name, dog? Oh my god. Streamer brain. Activated. This guy's freaking, Rakic. This is Alexander Rakic. Right. Oh man. Okay, so Alexander Rakic. I actually want to look up his record. Alexander Rakic. Because it's what have you done for me lately for Dana White. And Dana White does not necessarily care if you haven't been fighting or you've been losing a lot. Especially, look at that. Magomed, Jiri, Jan even. Yeah, so Rakic makes sense going up in B tier alongside Dominic Reyes, but a little bit above Dominic Reyes within the B tier. As we move on to Volkan Oezdemir. Volkan, let me see his record as well. Volkan Oezdemir. Usually if I have to Google these guys, it means they've been losing. Because I forget about them too, just like Dana White does. He just lost to Carlos Ulberg. Okay. But he beat Johnny Walker, Bogdan, Guskov. Lost to Nikita Krylov. Yeah, he's up and down. He's lost to Dominic Reyes, Anthony Smith. I mean, yeah, okay. He's basically up here, but probably ahead of Reyes because he still has more of a ceiling than Reyes does. Reyes is kind of gone. I think he's on his way out. I don't know, like, does he even have any more freaking fights on his contract or what? Because, like, he's been losing too much, man. He's been losing all the time. Yeah, and he lost way worse to Carlos than Volkan did. Volkan went through a decision, which is good, and he's fighting Alonzo Menifield next. So yeah, he's got to go above Dominic Reyes for Dana White. As we move on to this guy's face, Azamat Murzakanov. Just like me, I don't really know his name too well. Just like me, I mean Dana White. So if I have to look up your name like that, nah, I guess for me streamer brain happens, but usually you're not much to speak of. I'm gonna look him up again. You see, as we're going down the list, I'm not really remembering these guys quite as well. Azamat Murzakanov. Let's see what he's been doing lately for Dana White. Oh, I mean, dang. He's freaking undefeated, dog. He's 36 years old? Wow. But who's he been fighting? Brenson, Ribeiro, Alonzo Menifield, Dustin Jacoby, Devin Clark, Tafon Njukwi, Mateus Scheffel. Yeah, I mean, but he's been KOing a lot of these guys. And he's going up against Alexander Rakic next? Yeah, what have you done for me lately? Well, I think you've been doing more than Rakic, as Dana is saying. So he's going up to A tier just because of his ceiling. He is a 36-year-old guy, so you have to take that into account for Dana White. Dana White does not like older guys, but you also have to remember he's an older guy in light heavyweight, which isn't as bad. Light heavyweight and heavyweight, if you're a little bit older, it's okay, especially heavyweight. Especially at heavyweight, it's a little bit okay to be like around like 40. He's not quite, he's 36. But yeah, Dana White, he really rags on people about being old, especially if he's bringing them in as newbies to the UFC. They're like 32 years old. He'll rag on that age just because, like, I don't know, like he just doesn't seem, because of course, like I've mentioned it in other tier list videos. Check out the videos that we've done previously, and it's because Dana White that's just how he is, man. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I have to explain that much further. As we move on to this guy that looks like Anthony Smith, it's this one's Bogdan, right? Bogdan Guskov. Man, all these guys at the bottom of the freaking rankings, I gotta look up for their records and what they've previously done. Let's see, Bogdan Guskov, 18-3. He's been doing well. He's 33. So not quite as old as the other guy. I think, honestly, Dana White would probably not know him too well based on his name. He'd probably have to be like, huh? What'd you say? What'd you call me? And then he'd have his assistant repeat it like 3 times in his ear. Oh, all right, Bogdan. Right. Why are you asking me this question? It's like, bro, you're at a presser. People ask questions. It happens. But yeah, I think they're going to be shoulder to shoulder basically right here. Although, like, yeah, I mean, Khalil, I guess Khalil's got to stay up there just because of his fight style. I mentioned it. We already went through it. But, like, because I'm looking at these guys and I'm just thinking of their ceilings. But that's not entirely how Dana White's going to think. It's not about the ceiling entirely, right? Because these guys have higher ceilings, in my opinion, than Khalil. Khalil kind of, I mean, he made it up there, but he's basically where he's going to stay in the rankings and drop from there, I would imagine. Like, I think he would lose to this guy, this undefeated guy right there. Makes a lot of sense to me. We move to Johnny Walker. He's C tier, along with Jamahal Hill, but above Jamahal Hill. Yeah, I mean, what's fun? Oh, Reyes might have to drop down to C tier from the bottom of B tier, to be honest. I think we're gonna have to do that. I think we're gonna have to put Reyes at C tier. There's no hope for Reyes anymore. He's a little bit older. He's on his way out. Johnny even still has like a higher ceiling in the UFC than Reyes at this point. I mean, I'm not saying like he's gonna get to a title shot or anything, but I mean in terms of like popularity, money, the fights being exciting, stuff like that, having more fights in the UFC. Dana White likes longevity. So, even though, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's below Reyes even. I mean, he's above Reyes even. I mean, let me look at his record. Johnny Walker, he's been getting humiliated. But the thing is, it's not always about the losses. If you're losing, it's fine. Sometimes it depends. Let me look at his latest record here. Pull it up on the screen. I mean, he just beat Mingyang. All right. And a lot of people picked against him in that one. I'm pretty sure I picked against him in this one. Did I? I don't remember. But yeah. Yeah. And he lost to Volkan. Makes sense. Lost to Magomed. Makes sense. He beat it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think his ceiling's still fine. Like, it's not like he's really going to become a champion or anything. But he's a popular name to watch. And when you hear his name, like, people know his name in general. So he might even go up to B tier. Yeah, we swap places with Reyes and Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker moves up to B tier per Dana White's psychology. As we move to Nikita Krylov, I'm gonna have to look up his record as well. Nikita Krylov. Let's see what he's got. The minor. He's just lost to Bogdan and Dominic, though. And Dominic? Wow. And, like, hey, he beat Volkan, though. He lost to Paul Craig. Yeah, lost to Magomed. I mean, for Dana, yeah, I mean, right there, probably B tier behind Johnny Walker even. Yeah, he's lost to a lot of these guys in the list. As we move on to Alonzo Menifield, I'm surprised he's even ranked, man. How is this the freaking thing? No way. Let's look at his record. 17-5. He beat Umar C, Julius Walker, lost to Azamat Murzakanov, lost to Carlos Ulberg via KO to both of them, beat Dustin Jacoby, beat Jimmy Crute. He's ranked off this. I guess he's been in for a while, which is interesting because he is a guy, remember, coming off Dana White's Contender Series, which we do have coming up this Tuesday. Check out my picks, which will be released Monday, which is tomorrow. If you're watching this video, it'll probably already be out for Season 9, Week 9 of Dana White's Contender Series. Yeah, I mean, Alonzo Menifield, that's interesting because he's going on a string of wins and losses. I don't know. He's a super interesting name to see ranked. I think he loses to Volkan, probably. Yeah, as long as Volkan's not on his way out yet, because Alonzo's 37, Volkan's still younger. And I'm pretty sure he's had more UFC fights. Maybe about the same, actually. Wow. Alonzo's just been super active, I guess. But I do feel like Volkan has had more challenging fights, more challenging fighters to fight compared to Alonzo Menifield. And Alonzo gasses. I'm going to think Dana White probably doesn't think too much of him. He's probably above Nikita, though. It's crazy that Nikita's in B tier. So we move Alonzo Menifield up to B tier, just behind Johnny Walker, because, like, he's not as exciting, in my opinion. Like, he's not as well known a name. Nobody really cares to watch him fight, I don't think. Like, I've never seen anybody excited about an Alonzo Menifield fight, ever. But his fights are never boring, I don't think. Like, he has exciting fights. It's just like the name value isn't there. And that's what Dana White cares about, name value, especially for older guys. If you don't have a name value and you're an older guy, you're going to be ranked down here in B tier. And we move on to Zhang Mingyang, who just lost to Johnny Walker. And he had a high ceiling, but he's also still going above all of them to A tier. Yep. You know why? It's the market. Dana White loves tapping into these bigger markets, especially when it comes to like China and stuff like that. And he's hopeful this guy will redeem himself and do a lot better, right? In the back of his mind, I'm sure he doesn't truly care at the end of the day, but in the back of his mind, he would prefer if this guy stays winning. That's why he's in A tier. Because it's about the bias, of course. Of course it's about the bias. Like, he can do more for the promotion than Johnny if he does better than Johnny, right? If he does better, Zhang Mingyang, who we just put into A tier, he just has a higher kind of ceiling for making revenue for the UFC and bringing more eyes, like new, fresh eyes, new kids to the scene compared to Johnny Walker. And that has been the tier list. The entire light heavyweight division rankings ranked by Dana White Psychology from S to D. Nobody's in D this time, but check out the other videos. Some people have landed in D tier for Dana White. He don't like some of these fools. I have been Coin. You have been you. This has been my sponsored, self-sponsored VPN, www.coin.me. You can also use just an email address and a crypto wallet and get a very affordable, super blazing fast VPN for not too much money. Yeah. Deuces.